Hey there! Watch this video if you want to learn the difference between and among. Coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. First of all, thank you so much for joining me on another video. I really appreciate it. If it's your first time here, hey, consider subscribing. Every week I post different kinds of videos to help you become a better English speaker. So here we go, my friends. Today we are going to focus on between and among. This is a very common question English learners have when they start studying these two guys. Okay, so what's the difference between and among? Okay, so if you are joining here for the first time, consider subscribing. I noticed that more than 50% of people who watch my videos, who share my videos, are not subscribers, are not part of this beautiful community. So subscribe so that you can get my video lessons and so much more from Monday to Friday, okay? So let's focus on the content. Today we're gonna talk about among and between. Now guys, basically, okay, you're going to use between and among to define different things, okay? But now, focusing on between, when you are telling the objects using between, you are giving a kind of choice and you are clearly describing separate objects, okay? So they are clearly separated, okay? They are clearly separate objects. Now, among, on the other hand, will not be used when you are describing things separately, okay? Usually it's the opposite. Usually it's something that is part of a group, part of a crowd, or a mass of objects. So that's the biggest difference between among and between. When you're talking about between, you're focusing on separate items. When you're talking about among, you are talking about things that belong to a group, okay? It's not clear. It's not clearly separate, okay? Now, I will give you more explanations. Now, let's focus on between. You will use between, as I said, when you are describing something that is clearly separated, okay? So here, what does that mean? It means that it's a distinct individual item. So you are giving the name of a specific item, an individual item. That means it can be one, it can be two, it can be three, it can be more. However, it's a specific, a distinct item, okay? Individual items. So here an example, the negotiations between Germany, France, Portugal, and Spain are going really well. Now you could be thinking, but teacher, there are 4 names of countries. Shouldn't I use among? No, you don't, because here they are individual items, specific, distinct. Germany is different from France, that is different from Portugal, that is different from Spain. So they are all individual items, they are individual countries. So in this case, I can use between. Now, if you pay attention, is it tiring to say 4 names of countries? Yes. That's why when we use between, we usually give fewer options. We don't give so many options. For example, if I'm talking about all the countries in the European Union, it's easier for me to say European Union. Imagine if I sit down here and I start talking about the 47, I think it's 47 countries. Oh, the negotiations between Spain, Croatia, France, Italy, Germany. that's too tiring. So that's why it's usually with fewer options, but there's not a limit as long as you use individual, distinct items. Okay, that's the goal. On the other hand, among, you will be talking about part of a group. You're not being specific about one singular item, okay? You are describing something that belongs to a part of a group. 2, 3 or more will be involved. Now, in this case, it's usually when it's more than 3. So when it's more than 3 of a specific item that is part of a group, then you're going to use among. So the negotiate, look at the same example now, but look at the difference. The negotiations among the European countries went really well. Now they have finally reached an agreement. As I told you, there are many countries in the European Union. I think there are 47. Maybe there's more, I don't remember, but there are many, okay? Now, here, when I say European countries, I'm definitely talking about more than 3, but I don't want to give you the exact number or the exact names of the individual countries participating in this negotiation. I don't want to do that because it's going to be very tiring, very long. So I can say among all the European countries, the negotiations are going really well. So what do you understand? Here you will understand that there are more than 3 countries involved, but they all belong to the European Union. Okay, here's not the European Union, it's the European countries. Okay, not necessarily the Union, just the continent. But that's my idea here. In the previous slide, when I use it between, I gave you distinct individual items. I told you specific names of countries. So I can say 2, I can say 3, I can say 4. But here I am being specific. I am naming each individual item. As when I say in among, I'm giving you the group. And here you can infer, you can conclude, you can understand that inside this group, there is way more than 3 individual items. So that's the main difference between among and between. Now, here I have another example. Well, I'm basically just focusing on showing you a little bit more. So the negotiations between Germany, France, Portugal, and Spain are going really well. So here, just emphasizing, I gave you the names of the countries for individual items. On the other hand, when I'm talking about the European countries, there are many European countries, not European Union. There are many European countries. Consequently, I imagine that there is more than 3. Okay, so I'm not mentioning specific countries in this group. I'm giving you the group in total, in general. So I cannot use between here. I'm going to use among. Okay, and that's, my friend, is the biggest difference. Many English learners believe that between is only 2 and among is more than 2. No, okay? Between is used with 2, 3, or more individual items. Among is more, but you don't say the individual names of the items. You usually refer to the group, okay? Not to the individual item of that group. So it can be at least 3. It has to be a bigger quantity. Otherwise, you can just use between. If it's just 2, just say between. If it's just 3, say between. If it's just 4, say between. If it's more than that, then say the group, not necessarily the individual items, okay? And that's where English learners get a little confused. Now, a homework. I want you to write in the comments one example with between and one example with among. Yay! Here in the comments, that's gonna be really awesome. I hope you can participate. And remember, if you are not subscribed yet, check your subscription. Maybe you watch my videos every day and you share and you click like, but you're not here. So come on, hit the subscribe button, and I hope I can see your comment here, your example here in the comments, okay? Thank you so much, my friends, and I will see you tomorrow for another lesson. I see some people are saying hi, but I'm gonna have to say goodbye, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.